So before starting the Bohr magnet as an equivalent to solenoid, we are going to discuss how the Bohr magnet equivalent to solenoid in this problem. Just we can recap what is the magnetic moment associated with the current loop. That magnetic moment M can be written as the current in the loop times the area. Suppose if you have n number of turns, the magnetic moment in general it is represented by the n times the number of turn times the current times the area vector. That already we have discussed. Suppose if you have the loop, circular loop, if the magnetic moment is pointing in this direction, that would be a m. So that magnetic moment can be represented by m number of turns times the current times area. A represents the area of cross section here. Now we are going to discuss the Bohr magnet. Consider this is one of the Bohr magnet. It is, if it is equivalent to solenoid, that means this Bohr magnet have n number of turn in it. Consider the small thickness, the dx. This is a small thickness dx. N is the number of lines per unit meter, the small n, or the number density. Now n means the number of turns per unit length. So now we can define the total number of turns within this dx. That would be equal to n times dx. That is the total number of turns within the dx. So the radius of the, suppose if you are taking the axis of the solenoid is here, this radius of the solenoid is a. Then we are going to take the point P. We are going to evaluate if this solenoid is having the current I. You can take the current in the solenoid is I. We are going to evaluate what is the magnetic field at a point P from the dx element. So the dx element is consider the center of the solenoid would be here. That would be the y-axis. The distance of the element from the center, it is x. The thickness is dx. The distance from the location where we are going to measure the magnetic field, that point location would be the small r. So the distance of the point P from the dx element, that would be equal to the r minus the x. This distance we can make it, we can use a different color. So this distance would be, that would be equal to the small r minus x. This would be the distance of the dx element from the point P. The point P, we are going to measure the magnetic field due to the current carrying solenoid I. So now what we are going to do means, we already know the expression of for the magnetic field along the axis of the circular loop. What is the magnetic field at a point P? Suppose if this is a current loop carrying the current I, we derived these expressions. The due to the current carrying element I, the magnetic field at a point P, that would be equal to the dB would be equal to mu naught pi. This would be equivalent to mu naught times the number of turns times the current in the loop times the, suppose we are taking, this is the radius of the loop, so a square divided by 2 times the it would be, if the distance, if you are taking x, the point P location, x square plus the radius of the circular loop square whole power 3 by 2. So this would be the magnetic field produced at a point P due to the current carrying element. So this is the capital B. It's not a dB, it's a B. Now the same expression we are going to take it here. Now we are going to take the element dx. Due to this element dx, it is carrying the current I. The number of turn is here n times dx. Now we are going to evaluate the magnetic field produced by this dx element at a point P. We are going to use this same expression, but here we are not going to consider the whole length, what is the manifold produced at a point P, we are going to take the small element. So the small element producing the manifold at a point P, that would be equal to the dB equal to the same A, the mu naught, the number of turns we have due to the dx, the element, that would be equal to small n time dx I times a square. Here also the radius would be a square divided by 2 times the x means from the center of the circular root to the point P distance. Here the from the center of the dx circle, dx element circle, the distance point P would be r minus x. This will be r minus x. So here we have taken r minus x whole square. The distance here, radius is a, here also radius is a, so a square whole power 3 by 2. This is the expression we have. So here we are going to evaluate the now we have the expression for the magnetic field at a point P due to this, the small element dx. So due to dx element, the magnetic field dB, we have this expression. Now what we are going to do, we are going to evaluate the magnetic field at a point P due to the whole solenoid, the total solenoid, due to the current carrying solenoid. What is the magnetic field B? Here we have taken the solenoid length is 2L. Suppose we are taking the starting point is minus L, the ending point is plus L, the center is 0, the total length of the solenoid is 2L. Now we are going to evaluate the net magnetic field at a point P due to the whole solenoid. So for that we are going to take the integration on the both sides. So if you are taking the integration, the left hand side dB, the right hand side we are going to take the integration from the minus L to plus L. So that integration minus L to plus L mu naught n small n dx I a square divided by 2 times n minus, sorry, it will be r minus, this is not n, r minus x whole square plus a square whole power 3 by 2. Here now what we are going to assume, we can use the trigonometry to solve this integration. For right now what we are going to do, we are going to assume that the distance r would be much greater than the radius, the distance, the point location will be much greater than the radius of the circle, as well as the x, the this x. So what if you are taking in this limit, if you are working in this limit, the r is much larger than this x as well as the a square. So we can just because the most of the contribution coming from the distance, or if it is much greater than a and x, so we can neglect this x as well as a, because small contribution will come from both the terms. Hence the, if you are integrating left hand side, the net magnetic field due to the whole solenoid, the of the length 2L, that would be equal to, the integration will give B. The right hand side, take the constant outside, mu naught you can take outside, the n times I a square you can take outside, the inside it would be, then denominator 2 you can take outside, then inside it would be, you are going to take the integration minus L to plus L, the whole length of the solenoid, time dx divided by, here the contribution is so small, we can just neglect or make it 0 x and a. So the r square times whole power 3 by 2, then the b would be equal to mu naught n times I a square divided by 2. Here you can cancel r square, this 2 power of r you can multiply, you have to multiply, it would be r cube. You can take r cube is independent of integration, you can take it outside, that would be also constant. If you're taking this integration, it will give x only, so that x will go from minus L to plus L. So mu naught n small n I a square by 2 r cube times the upper limit is L, lower limit is L, minus of minus L plus L. So what the integration means, minus the lower limit minus L. So this answer would be equal to the B, mu naught the small n I times a square divided by 2 times r cube. This is actually the n, the number of turns per unit length, times the 2L. So this is the expression we have. Now one would calculate the magnetic moment of the solenoid of the length 2L, that would be equal to the magnetic moment. In general, for the single loop, the current into area, suppose if you are taking this single loop, the area is pi a square, the current is the I. If you are taking the n number of loops, how many number of loops here in the solenoid means, that would be the number of loop per unit length times the length 2L. So the total number of loop in the solenoid, that would be equal to the n times small n times the total length of the solenoid. This is the total number of length times I times pi a square. This would be the magnetic moment of the solenoid. Now we are going to substitute the magnetic field expression this value. So here you got to simply rearrange that expression. You can take the mu naught outside. Here n times I square 2L. Now what I am going to do, I am going to multiply the numerator as well as denominator by pi. Here 2 pi r cube I have multiplied. Here the numerator 2 n times already, because if I divide by pi, I multiplied by pi I a square times 2L. So here if you see this expression, it would be equal to the magnetic moment of the solenoid, that would be n times 2L, the total number of turns in the solenoid, n times 2L, the current times the area pi a square. Here pi a square current, n times 2L, the total number of turn in the solenoid, that would be equal to the magnetic moment. The bracket term represents the magnetic moment of the solenoid. So mu naught m divided by 2 pi r cube, or if you multiply the numerator by denominator by 2, multiply and divide by 2, this will give mu naught 2m divided by here if you multiply 2 into 2, 4 pi r cube. This is the expression. Now we have it. So the final B due to the solenoid having n turns, that would be equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2m divided by r cube. This is the magnetic field due to the solenoid of n turn. Here if you look at this expression, this is one which is satisfy the experimentally. That means the magnetic field, if you are obtained experimentally, we have exactly whatever the expression, it would be matching with the experiment. This expression matching with the expression for the Bohr magnet, matching with experiment on the Bohr magnet. So in general we can say the solenoid magnetic field, that will be equivalent to the Bohr magnetic field. So the magnetic moment of the solenoid, that would be equivalent to the Bohr magnetic moment. In general, the Bohr magnet as well as the solenoid will be different, even the structure wise different, but the magnetic field production wise it is similar. Even the solenoid case, the current is flowing each and every turn. If you are giving the current, the Suppose if you are taking the single loop, if you are making it is n number of loop, each loop the current is flowing. But in the Bohr magnet there is no actual current, but still the theory for the solenoid is working for the Bohr magnetic field expressions. So the solenoid, the Bohr magnet as an equivalent to the solenoid. Why it is equivalent means the solenoid magnetic field expression is matching with the Bohr magnetic field expression experimentally. So that is the thing we can conclude here. So we can say in general the Bohr magnet as equivalent to the solenoid. What we have discussed here, that will be true according to the final expressions, that will be equivalent to the Bohr magnetic field.